So there's been a lot written and talked about um, by a lot of the pundits out there that enterprises need to hire a chief digital officer or a CDO, if you will. Tony, do you agree?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the no side on this one, even though it's kind of tough for me to oppose it. I mean, clearly, and I know, Diane, you've seen this. There have been success stories with enterprises that do have a CDO, so I'm not suggesting that anyone, remove an incumbent CDO, but here's the case against it. Digital is and really needs to be pervasive in an enterprise. You really need everyone in the organization to get on board. That includes the CMO, the CIO, the CFO, maybe most importantly, the chief people officer or chief HR officer. And the risk is if you hire a CDO, then these other folks who are really central to digital transformation, they say, okay, it's not my problem, it's somebody else's problem. We already have this challenge where many business leaders in the enterprise see digital as some kind of black box that some other team has to deal with. And I think that by really making all of the C-suite accountable for digital, you can be much more successful in the long run. The other thing that you risk by hiring a CDO, and we have seen this in a couple of cases, is where the CDO becomes a little bit like a powerless, kind of like a czar, this person with no budget and kind of more of an advocate rather than a doer because they don't have a budget and they don't have a lot of reports. So if you are going to get a CDO, I would hope that you could really empower them with budget and people to do things. But I'll make the case today that you can get by without one.
Great. How about you, Diane?
Well, I mean, this is an interesting topic because digital is infusing everything that we do in our organizations today, and the traditional IT department's really been a cost center. And I would argue that a CDO without a budget is just a chief technology officer. Companies already have those. When we talk about digital being at the core of our business, right, being a P&L, right, the chief CDO should be generating revenue for the company and needs to have that capital expenditure to get results done. I think the real question is when we talk about enterprise social, this is one of the biggest discussions we get at the top of the organization is who owns all this engagement? And the challenge has been that we have different audiences. We have our customers outside, which want to engage with us more if they like us as organizations. We have business partners who want to work as efficiently as possible with us, and we have our workers who want newer technologies that they use in their personal lives. They know there's better alternatives. And so, who's really going to bring all these together? The CMO, is usually the one who has the outward-facing engagement with the company, right? So that's just one audience. The CIO, same thing, tends to be responsible for more internal-facing technologies. So the advantage of a chief digital officer is there is one throat to choke, as they say in the corporate world, right? You say, let's bring all of this together. Let's not do this over and over again. For years, and I still see this today, you have two different efforts, one to do social on the outside and one to do social on the inside. This is the one thing the email does get right and why it's still here is that you can talk to everybody. It doesn't matter where they are, who they are. They have an email address, and you can talk to them. And this is the CDO would have, if they do have the budget and the right authority, will be able to break these silos down and connect these pieces together and make them work. Because really, this is Conway's law. This is the structure of your IT systems will mirror the structure of your organization, and that's the real advantage, I believe, ultimately, in a CDO that has teeth.